We all know stories about evil aliens, but the extraterrestrial visitors seem very kind this time. Find out what people did to them in the recap of the movie District 9. Let's go! This is Vickers Vandermeer. He works for MNU. It's a corporation responsible for contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. From archival footage and the interviews, we learn that in 1982 a giant spaceship hovered over South Africa. People were eager to see aliens. But 3 months passed and the extraterrestrial contact did not occur. The special services cut through the hull of the ship and found thousands of emaciated aliens inside. The desperate creatures were rescued from the ship. They were placed in a special camp and provided with humanitarian aid. The alien ghetto was called District 9. Years passed, but the aliens were in no hurry to fix their ship and leave. The thing is, the command module has fallen off the starship. It has never been found among the wreckage. Alas, the Earthlings' patience didn't last long. According to the interviews, the aliens turned District 9 into a crime-ridden slum. Eventually, the people grew to hate them. MNU realizes that some urgent actions are required, like moving 1.8 million aliens away from the city. It can't be done by force. Human rights organizations support the aliens. They demand the authorities to follow the legal procedure and serve eviction notices. That's exactly what Vickers is supposed to do. Next, we see two kinds of archival footage, before and after some incident. Vickers before the event is happy and excited about the promotion. After that, Vickers is never shown again. Instead, his relatives and co-workers are interviewed. Everyone is surprised by his terrible act. The only person who misses Vickers is his wife. She is sad and shows the gifts that her husband made for her with his own hands. So, what happened? Back to day of the notice delivery. Aliens are dangerous, so Vickers is sent to them accompanied by Colonel Kerbis and his team. They derogatorily call the aliens prawns. When a brawl breaks out, Vickers hurls some cans at the prawns. What's that? Tear gas? No, it's cat food. Turns out the aliens are obsessed with it. Vickers walks around the slums, trading cat food for signatures. We're learning more and more about District 9. It's ruled by the Nigerian mafia. Also, the homes of aliens are used to hide illegal weapons, and even something worse. In one shack, Vickers discovers a clutch of alien fetuses. It is destroyed with a flamethrower. Vickers is amused that the eggs burst like popcorn. It seems that this nice and kind man doesn't mind depraving the aliens of their children in this way. Before long, we find out that the eviction is not the main purpose of the raid. Both the Nigerians and the MNU dream of finding alien technology in the slums. The only pity is that their weapons are bio-based and don't function in human hands. They can be controlled only by the prawns themselves. Meanwhile, a couple of adult aliens and a kid are rummaging through a dumpster. They're looking for the wreckage of their ship. Finding a useful part, they head home. There, they drain some kind of a liquid from the found item. The aliens are nervous. They've been collecting this liquid drop by drop for 20 years. All of a sudden, humans appear. The alien and the child manage to escape. Their friend is apprehended. Vickers finds a silver container. It doesn't look like a weapon. Not expecting some kind of a trick, Vickers examines it closely, and suddenly... What the hell is that? Vickers doesn't know. He wipes the black liquid from his face and returns to the detainee. The terrified alien throws the man away. Colonel Kerbis shoots him down for it. Vickers gets some medical treatment and proceeds to deliver the flyers. A shack of the second alien and his kid is next. The alien refuses to sign the eviction notice. The situation escalates, but suddenly Vickers feels sick. The alien is left alone. Vickers returns to the city. There he notices something black coming out of his nose. In addition, he begins to lose his fingernails. In the meantime, the alien and his son are looking for the container of the liquid, but it's nowhere to be found. The local Nigerians trade cat food for a huge robotic exoskeleton. Their leader performs rituals and consumes the alien's flesh. He hopes to gain control of their hardware afterward. Let's see what's going on with Vickers. He returns home and sees that his relatives have thrown a surprise party to celebrate his promotion. However, Vickers isn't happy about it. He passes out right at the moment of cutting the cake. Could this happen because of the wounded arm? A doctor in the hospital cuts the bandages and finds an alien claw instead of human fingers. Vickers is shocked. MNU staff is called to the hospital. They take Vickers to their lab. Scientists examine his arm and find a container filled with mysterious liquid in his belongings. Apparently, that's what caused the mutation. Vickers' DNA has changed. He's now closer to a prawn than to a human. Could he now use an alien weapon? Vickers is forced to fire an alien gun at the target. What a surprise! It works. The next target for the test is a live alien. Vickers refuses, but after being electrocuted, he is made to shoot. MNU executives are thrilled. Now Vickers' body costs billions of dollars. His blood, organs and bone marrow will be used for experiments. Obviously, he won't have a chance of surviving. Vickers begs for help, but no one cares. Money is more important. Vickers' wife is notified that her husband is ill. He doesn't have long to live. Yet Vickers himself is eager to survive. He breaks out of captivity and flees the lab. From now on, he's MNU's most wanted person. The poor guy calls his wife and friends, but everyone is afraid of him. Vickers tries to buy food, but his face is shown on all the channels. MNU employees state that Vickers is infected with a contagious alien disease, and it's important to isolate him as soon as possible. Desperate, Vickers decides to run to the only place where no one will look for him, namely District 9. It's been 40 hours since the exposure. Vickers buys cat food and eats it with pleasure. His teeth are falling out. Looks like the mutation is progressing. Vickers gets a call from his wife. She has believed the MNU's lies and is now afraid of her spouse. After talking to her, Vickers becomes so desperate that he decides to get rid of the alien claw. He cuts off his finger and realizes that he is incapable of doing more. A helicopter raid is underway. Vickers breaks into the house of one of the aliens. It's the same guy whose container he stole. The alien notices the claw hand and figures out what's going on. The stupid man has come into contact with the liquid he and his friends have been collecting for 20 years. The alien hides Vickers from the raid and then interrogates him. Vickers confesses that the container is left in the MNU lab. It turns out the black liquid is a biologically active propellant. The lost command module is buried under the alien's shack. The fuel is the only way to raise the module into the air and dock it into the starship. The alien mentions that there is some medical equipment on the mothership. It could make Vickers 100% human again. Unfortunately, the fuel has been lost. Anyone who may sneak into the MNU lab will end up captured by the soldiers. Now the alien will never fly home, and Vickers won't be cured. The man is desperate. Soon he notices that his shoulder and back are changing. He looks more and more like a loafed prawn. The phone rings. It's Vickers' wife. She misses her husband and hopes they will go back to the way it was. Yet Vickers rejoices for nothing. It's all a staged call. MNU detects his location and sends the troops. In the meantime, the alien explains to his son that the plan has failed. They will never return to their home planet. Suddenly, Vickers shows up. He explains that the neighborhood they are about to be relocated to is a real concentration camp. Moving there is definitely not a good option. The only solution is to help each other and get the fuel back. To do that, they need weapons, and Vickers knows where to find them. The man goes to Obasanjo, a Nigerian gang leader. He wants to buy guns, but Obasanjo spots the mutated arm. He believes eating Vickers' flesh will allow him to use the alien technology. That's not the case, but it's impossible to explain that to an ignorant fanatic who has nothing to do with science. Vickers is saved by his alien DNA. He reaches for the alien gun, defeats the Nigerian and escapes. Now he's armed. MNU soldiers are getting ready to capture the target. but they're too late. The target has already come to them. Vickers and the aliens break into the MNU headquarters. They make their way to the labs. At first, the alien doesn't realize what's lying on the tables. Later, he figures it out. These are the remains of his fellows. MNU considers them mere test subjects. All the witnessed horrors shock the alien. Vickers finds the fuel container, but the alien doesn't respond to his shouts and doesn't want to leave. A gunfight with the guards ensues. Vickers reminds the alien of his son, and the latter comes to his senses. Finally, they manage to escape. The chase is getting closer. Vickers is getting ready for the departure, and suddenly realizes a terrible thing. The alien doesn't plan to cure him, as the procedure also requires fuel, every drop of which is essential to fly to the other planet, bring help and evacuate the other aliens. The alien can't leave them behind after what he saw in the labs. The flight will take 3 years. After that, he promises to return and cure Vickers. However, the man is not satisfied with the outcome. He stuns the alien, takes the container and gets into the command module. There, he finds a kid preparing the machine for takeoff. The latter is unaware that the military has also arrived and captured his father. Vickers tricks him and forces him to lift the module into the air. Unfortunately, they don't manage to reach the main spacecraft. A rocket launcher shoots down the module. The little alien hides. Vickers is taken captive by the MNU workers. Still, they face another problem. The mutating man is now of great interest to everyone, especially Obasanjo. The Nigerians set up an ambush. They capture Vickers and get ready to perform a ritual with his hand. In the meantime, the young alien remotely connects to the starship. At first, it seems like nothing is happening, but then the ship activates. The ship isn't the only thing that comes to life. It also turns on the alien exoskeleton that the Nigerians have purchased. It identifies Vickers by DNA as an alien and protects him from his enemies. The soldiers surround the building, but now Vickers knows what to do. He gets inside the exoskeleton and breaks through the wall of the shack. Colonel Kurbus is shocked. He's never seen anything like this in his life. At first, Vickers runs away, but then he decides that he can't abandon his alien partner. He comes back and attempts to rescue the prawn from the soldiers. The alien is saved. Vickers promises to take him to his son. They almost reach the command module, but that's when the snipers hit the exoskeleton. Vickers is wounded too, yet he doesn't care anymore. He orders the alien to take his son and fly home. The latter promises to come back for the man in 3 years. However, the promise is useless. Looks like Vickers doesn't have a chance to survive for another 3 minutes. He lunges at the soldiers to distract them. The alien and his son manage to take off and successfully dock with the spaceship. Colonel tries to shoot them down, but Vickers intercepts the missile. This is where his luck ends. The exoskeleton is hit by a car, because of which the mechanism shuts down. Vickers remains unprotected. Colonel Kurbus is about to take him down. It becomes apparent that Vickers has mutated even further. The other aliens take him as one of their kind. They get out of the slums and attack the colonel. The lucky alien activates the ship and flies off for help. Vickers sees it. He's happy. The entire world observes as the giant spaceship leaves the Earth. The archival footage shows up what happened next. District 9 was demolished. The aliens were forcibly relocated to a new ghetto. They and humans still hate each other. Vickers was never found. Some people think he was captured by the MNU. Others believe that he's kept by the government. Yet, his wife is convinced that Vickers is alive. She found a metal rose at the door. Her husband used to give her handmade gifts all the time. The final footage shows us the alien making another rose. It appears to be Vickers. His mutation is complete.